Running on a 1.1 engine, the first-generation Honda Civic was specifically designed to compete with the compact vehicles built in the United States. It came in 4 body variations: a coupe, a 3-door and a 5-door hatch, and a 5-door estate. The 3-door hatch was popular due to the fact that it coincided with the 70s fuel crisis, and its small size ensured it had a good efficiency. For its second generation, which debuted in 1979, the Civic was redesigned to be a little more boxy. Among the features that set the car apart from the previous model was the increase in engine capacity with the introduction of an optional 1.5-liter engine. Also, there was a new 3-speed automatic gearbox that replaced the 2-speed previous model. A slightly revised version of the second generation, the 1982 Civic, had a different exterior. The front grille was updated in a manner made famous by the Americans, where a car was different from year to year. This was followed in 1983 by the introduction in the Civic lineup of an S model, basically a sportier version with firmer suspension and sports tires. Trim levels remained unchanged. The third-generation Civic was released with a new addition to the body option lineup. This was a shuttle wagon, a mix between a 5-door hatchback and an estate. The engine options were also updated with the 1.5 12-valve L4 with increased horsepower. Also with this generation, the C model Civic was introduced on the Japanese market with an 1.6 engine and updated suspension. With the 4th generation Civic, the car became longer and had a lower hood line. The body option lineup and the trim levels were once again extended. An interesting feature for this car was the introduction of fuel injection for all American models. Cars sold in Japan and everywhere else were also running on carburetors. A new engine, the B Series, was introduced. The car received a minor facelift towards the end of the generation, in 1990. Probably the most unexpected fact about the 5th generation was the further increase in size. But the car was now more aerodynamic thanks to a new design. The 3-door hatch remained a popular option, while the estate was only continued in Japan. In America and Canada, the C model was featured with a tech engine. Taking on a more conservative look, the design of the 6th generation Civic brought little change to the overall look of the car. New options for engine and suspension were introduced. 2 new wagon models were added to the body lineup, the Arthur and the Domani, the first for the Japanese market and the second for the European countries. The United States was left out of the wagon series, because the hatch and the coupe reigned in sales. In 2001, the 7th generation Civic was released. Little things changed visually from the previous version, at least on the outside, because the inside of the car was made bigger by using a flat rear door. As usual, the engine lineup was changed with more powerful versions being added. The 3-door hatch received the C trim level in the United States, which was also available on the coupe. The 2003 facelift of the 6th generation Civic was more about cosmetic changes than anything else. The front end was the most affected by this change, as the grille was completely revised. The headlights were also remodeled, as well as the front and rear spoilers. The side skirts were also different in design and the car. The overall look was that of a longer, lower vehicle. Honda debuted the 8th generation Civic with 2 different versions for the American/Japanese and the European market. The European 3-door Civic was named the Type S and premiered a completely new and bold design. The European Civic was developed in Swindon, UK, and boasts a bold, out-of-this-world design inside out. The exterior looks like a spaceship with lots of smartly fit triangular shapes, like the front fog lights, door handles and twin rear exhaust pipes. The interior resembles the deck of spaceship as well, with Honda's new cinematic-like instrument cluster. The engines available with the Type S are a fuel-efficient 1.4-liter IC petrol unit, a 1.8-liter i-Tech with 140 HP and a 2.2-liter i-D diesel with an impressive 251 feet-lbs of torque at 2,000 revolutions per minute. The European Civic had a simpler rear torsion beam suspension than the American/JDM versions with double wishbone. The 8th generation Honda Civic underwent its first restyling process in 2008. The Japanese manufacturer introduced the facelifted Civic, all Type S, 5-door and sedan versions, at the 2008 Paris Motor Show. The new Civic was offered with a restyled front fascia and some slight changes to the rear section. Following the same policy taken by Honda in terms of market availability, the Type S and 5-door Civic were only available on the European market, while the North American Japanese customers were only offered a restyled 4-door sedan variant.